So they do that.
Okay, so maybe we should call this meeting to order because it's actually 6:30.
30.
And so 6:30, our meeting is called to order. What do we have? We do have a quorum with 3 members out of 5. And hopefully someone else will come on screen. Agenda minutes of last month, February 23rd. Any thing to correct and everything all right?
Seems to be fine.
Yep, everything's
Okay.
good.
Okay, who wants to move?
I'll move that we accept the minutes.
I'll
Make a
second.
motion to accept the minutes.
Okay, so Bruce, Leanne. Okay, so communications. We'll start with you, far away in Florida. Any communication?
None.
Okay, Leanne.
Well, you know, there were some, and I can't even think what they were in that right this minute. It'll come to me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good. Anything in terms of communications?
Comments that people made, is that?
Sure.
Oh, I do have something. I'm sorry.
Okay,
The location that I had hoped to have the mural up on, the building has been sold. Where Bridge Plaza or-
Bridge Market. Mhm.
and so I'm going to find out who the new owner is. I believe it's the gentleman that owns the package store, but I will talk to him and see how he would feel about it.
Yeah, good idea. Thank you.
Okay.
Okay, well, that's big news. Missy, you said you had some,
I just had some emails that commented on our Groton sign and our installation of the plantings. And well, I guess we did not get the impact we hoped for, and I'll talk about that later. But some of the comments included, why did you not put a row of evergreens behind the sign to hide the backyard? And the
Did you
plantings
send, did you send that to yourself?
no. It is a friend though. You're right. You hang with people who, and then the other one is the plantings are off balance, not centered, don't make sense. And it said distracting. Those were 2 emails I got.
okay.
If I might, on the subject of the sign, has anyone noticed what happened to the sign?
Yes.
Talk about it. Do you know about it?
Yeah. So a driver fell asleep at the wheel and plowed into the Groton sign at 117 and 1. So it is gone. It is destroyed. And we are working on an insurance claim at this point. So there is no sign. And I was going to bring that to the group because how do we make that area look beautiful? Because there will likely not be a sign for some time. It takes a while.
How long did it take?
I can't even answer that question right now.
You worked on it for a long time.
Yeah, I did. And we went back to the vendor for a new quote. Thank you, Nancy. Nice to see you. So that was just another item I wanted to bring up.
Who did it?
They take a sign from someplace else.
Not really.
It's fine, yeah.
Yeah.
So for the record, Nancy came 6:33. And
Excuse me, what happened to the sign?
A driver fell asleep at the wheel and plowed into it.
Oh, Jesus. Who's his insurance carrier?
I don't know exact specifics. I'm working with HR to fill out some paperwork right now.
Okay. Thank you.
okay. I did send a letter to Groton Utilities to ask them about their plans for this year along Route 1 because they have a good stretch of property on Route 1. And I didn't get any answer yet. That one.
Well, I did talk to them about 2 weeks ago,
Okay,
and
to Mr. Bada?
the man that we met with,
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
and he said some interesting things we should follow up on. There's going to be some kind of an electric sign up there, an electric
Well,
on their property that's going to
okay.
make announcements. You know how now they put
Okay.
announcements
Yeah.
against tack up.
Oh, same as near the
Library.
senior center library. That type.
We should ask him what he meant. It was a very quick conversation. He said there was some kind of electric sign they're putting up. They're gonna do some plantings and maybe get a couple of nice planters. So, but I didn't get much information from him. He had a very important phone call he had to attend to.
Well, good. Okay, that's a little. Okay, anything else in terms of communication, Nancy? No? Okay. Treasurer's report, that's an easy one this time. Nothing has changed since last month. Same numbers, so I don't know if you looked at the numbers of last month, but I have them here. Fundraising account, 4,631.89. And the town council funds appropriated to Beautification Committee, $2,865.46 for a total of $7,497.35. And the NIPS money is still around 30,000, but a separate account. So that's that
Is there a deadline on that spending for that?
for NIPS.
I think we should really check into that.
You don't want to lose that.
We don't want to
NIPS
lose that
money.
money from the state.
Yeah, we need to check on
Do you
that.
want to explain what the NIPS money is for anyone who is watching and doesn't know what we're talking about?
Do you want to explain what we're talking? No. NIPS is the 5 cents that is collected on any small size alcohol bottle that we find along the roads, on the side of the roads everywhere in town. And I think we have around $30,000 that was given to Groton. That is a proceed of what was sold in Groton for the year. And that's money is to be used to raise awareness about the issue and deal with.
Directly address the issue.
Yeah. So that's it. So that's came to the Beautification Committee on top of everything else that was on our plate.
Who would be contacted to find out about a deadline for it?
Megan Granado has been really helpful. She's the sustainability manager for the town.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Sustainability gal?
I'm not the sustainability.
No, I said,
gal.
but our
Our new
new, yes,
sustainability, gal.
right.
Yeah, she's got some direct
Okay.
emails about it. So I
So
think
we'll find that information for next month.
And then
Okay.
you-
Yes,
Granado.
Oh, she's the one, okay. Sustainability.
okay.
Excuse me.
So I know NEPS is on first on the unfinished business, but let's move it, if you all agree, to the end of the meeting because it's going to take a while to talk about that and we might just go on different directions. So let's go to the fence on Route 1 and maybe the information that you got, Missy, on that. Would
Okay.
you like to share?
Are you talking about the, all the way down Fort Hill Road, right? That's Route 1.
Where the sign used to be.
It's two parts, the whole deal and the small deal that we
Right,
took the
right,
dimensions of.
Right, exactly. So I was asked to first find out what it would cost to build kind of a surround fence around the Welcome Groton sign. And the reason for that was because we weren't getting the impact that we had hoped for. People are looking right through past the sign and commenting about everything else.
Everything we've
but
talked
this-
about.
Yeah, and then they also commented how we didn't make the planting, like equal. It's way long here and short here, but that doesn't matter.
It's a metric.
It
But
is
yeah.
metric, thank you. So we went behind to take a look at what we could do for more plantings. It's pretty limited in what we have there. It's 10 feet from there to the sidewalk. And that's the way it is all the way down Fort Hill Road. So, we're limited in what we can plant there. So then we thought, how about if we just get a piece of fencing and we'll price it out. But then while I was pricing out the fencing, I thought, well, I better price out the whole fencing for all of Fort Hill Road. It should be the same type of fence. This can't be green and then this be white or beige, and the idea is that maybe at some point when we can find the money for the fencing, the privacy fencing down the corridor of Fort Hill Road, this could just be opened up. And we wouldn't be losing any money at all. We'd just be taking that area.
That's 16 feet out from the back of the.
It's kind of slanted. It's slanted. It's almost a, it's like surrounding the sign. So they're 8 feet each, section is 8 feet, so we're limited in what we can do. It costs more to cut something down than to just use the full 8 feet. So it'd be 3 8 feet in the back, 6 foot high. And then I have some color samples to look at. But, we're looking at the samples, but at the same time, we have to be thinking, what color would we like the entire fence down the corridor, should we choose to do that later? So it became a bigger project than initially thought. It wasn't just pricing this out. I went ahead and priced section B, which is from our sign to the chain link fence at this. And then C, which is from the sign across, how do you pronounce that word? Virgin to Central. And then this is an optional piece from Central to Sutton. So this is, I got each piece separately priced out.
Okay, so you have A, B, C, D.
Mhm.
Okay.
So A is really what the main focus about is about, and that is roughly $3,000 installed. And if we install it ourselves, it'll be about $2,000, meaning Public Works, not us. We're not gonna go out there. and
Thank
you. So,
What type of material are we going to use?
well, it's vinyl. All of it is vinyl because that can hold up.
Final.
It can hold up best to the wind. It can hold up best to like any rough treatment or anything like that. If there is graffiti on it, you can clean it somewhat. And it can be power washed if it gets dirty. It's very easy to keep clean. So the fence of choice is vinyl. And it comes in many different colors. I talked to Greg today and in Public Works, and he thinks white is just too bright and not the right color for that stretch. So then it was a matter of looking at the beiges. And I got 3 quotes from 3 different fencing companies. I've been doing it all month long. And we have one that's really good. I don't know, we probably shouldn't talk about names quite yet. But one is much sturdier, the frame, and then the bottom part of the fence down here can be thin, or it could be quite thick and sturdy. And so I chose the company that you're probably familiar with if I said their name, but they're very sturdily made. They're made well. So
So
I
the
think-
$3,000 installed was for A, portion A.
yeah, 56 square.
And do you have any ideas for the numbers for the other sections?
Yes, I do. It's under 100,000. It comes to about 88,000, 89,000. The other one company that I didn't like, they have flimsy material and they were going to charge extra to put metal through the bottom to make it sturdy. So even though their price came out lower, by the time you added on the extras to make it sturdy for the wind, it was not the lowest price. So, and they're different brands. So I'm comparing different fencing materials. So I really had to hold them, touch them, feel them see them before I could choose. And it just happened to be the lowest one, the lowest price of the three. And so Greg's very happy about this.
Are they installed someplace that we can see them actually installed? I think that's always a good thing.
Okay, I can ask about that. And to give you an idea of what it would look like, it would look like that white fence there with a little cap on it. And then I'd hope that we would,
Can you kind of see if we can?
so it's, you know, it has a little cap. It's very formal looking. It looks nice. It wouldn't look.
Walk it over to the camera. It's way up
Oh,
there.
like closer?
Can you do that? The other room has a zoom in, but we don't zoom on this
Alright.
one.
No.
There you go.
Oh, good.
Yeah.
There it is. A
Yep.
little bit more.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay,
Yeah,
It's actually the way
Very
the
good.
front will look. We will have a
backdrop.
nice area to plant things on eventually.
So 6 foot tall.
6
How
foot tall.
about- can I ask
That's
a
a
question,
standard
Missy?
height.
How,
Sure.
how about, what do you think we can do about like graffiti on something like that?
Well,
That-
they.
That's a
they have,
perfect kind of, that's like a blackboard waiting to happen, you know?
Well, there's a couple things you can do. You can put a little sign out that has an eye on it that, you know, indicates that you're being filmed. That helps. You know, there's a camera watching across the street. I was given all these different things you can wash it with, that Public Works could wash it with, mineral spirits. There are these different things. And then you almost have to have 1 or 2 extra panels just in case something gets wrecked to be replaced. But the wood, you wouldn't have a chance of cleaning. And this you can power wash.
Is,
Mhm.
is that right? Has Public Works agreed to tear down all the bushes?
Well, Greg, I did talk to Greg today and he knows that has to be done. So he knows it's part of the process. And I talked to him about that because now there are trees that are dead. You've got evergreens that have only the stems and just a little bit of green on the top. You've got vines, you've got invasive bushes.
Correct.
You've got-
Gene and I were just, for
It's a
part
mess.
A, we were talking about how much the section towards the high school, not towards the middle school, but how much we'd even, to put that fence in, how much Jane, I thought we'd be volunteered to dig up those bushes, but it'd be good if. the
No,
town
and
could
also the
regulate
utilities, the
time.
utilities will cut some of those trees down if we ask them to, because they, of course, don't want the utilities to fall on their lines. So that's another source of cleaning, as a utility company can be called.
Okay, but are we talking about the section A, or are we talking about further down on the long route one?
There's a little bit of cleaning that we can do in A, that's a
Let's
coming.
concentrate on that first.
So,
So
yeah,
if we,
A needs a little bit more cleaning to the left-hand side of it, because that's how come it's not symmetrical, is because we could do more cleaning there, absolutely.
Leanne, I think you mentioned that you had another possible source of information for fencing.
Muted,
Yeah.
Leanne.
Yeah. We cannot hear you.
I didn't want you to hear me slurping my soup. I was waiting for the measurement, and if we have that, I will get pricing on a commercial grade fencing. I like what you have there. I think that's really very attractive, much more attractive than the thing I was thinking about is, you know, they make the fencing now, the chain link fencing, but they do it now with a green screen. I don't know if you've seen it or not, but it's very attractive. You don't see that there's a chain
The
link
wire,
fence,
you don't see the wire as well.
right? And I'm happy to to price that, but I will say that I would, when you're finished discussing this, I'd be more than happy to put a motion on the floor that we move forward with the approval for this project. So
Mhm.
I'm happy to get those prices for you. And I'll be happy to get it to you, Missy.
Okay, I can give you the measurements.
Oh, good.
Okay,
One of
so
our first
we're not going to be able to vote to make a a formal vote on this today, but if you want to have a motion on the floor so we can do some research and have firm information for next month, we can go do that.
Okay, I would just like to try to move it forward. We've had a lot of conversations. We know it's needed. We
Right.
know it's gonna make things look so much nicer.
Yep.
And the
I'm
other thing I might mention is, I think we should get some of those whiskey barrels, you know, that they cut in half. And maybe do a little thing with those with rocks in the bottom so that if another car comes in,
I was thinking security bollards, but rocks could help too.
the sign might do a little better that way.
So I need to get caught up on this. We know exactly what property is the state's and what is the town's now, right? And what the property lines of the people behind. We
know.
It has to be,
So it's
it has to be all measured out before the fence can go up, but yes. Greg says it's about, 10 feet in.
And it's all right with the state that we do this.
That I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
an encroachment permit. Yeah, and it'd likely have to go out to bid, so you would have to get quotes.
I
as
did
well.
3 bids. I got 3 bids.
But for that, if you're talking about the bigger portion, for
Mhm.
100,000, you need more than, you need to go through the public bid process.
Right, well, I'll just put that into Greg's,
Yeah, absolutely.
and let him do that.
Mhm.
I don't know how to do that. I got 3 bids. I got 3.
You did your homework.
Mhm.
Okay, but is that a beautification committee for the fence all the way down there? Or are we talking about the fence around the sign? What was your idea, Leon? Were you talking about the around the sign or the entire length?
Well, I think if we started with behind the sign and, and had it in 2 phases, it might be a little easier to do it. Missy, have you discussed the length with Glenn? Is it Glenn over at Public Works?
Red.
Yes, I have, yes. He estimated it would cost about 100,000. It came in very close to that, a little bit less. And yeah, I mean, there's some discussion that needs to be made, whether from Central Avenue to Sutton, whether we're gonna do that part or not, that's optional. So we have to involve more people, whether it's the Economic Development Committee or whether it's, Public Works. We can't do this alone, obviously, nor can we afford to do it, alone.
We get some ARPA money.
Well, we could afford to do behind the sign now.
Absolutely. We could do
If
that
we-
now.
Yeah,
I think it should be 2 phases.
Yeah.
Let's concentrate
Let's
on
just-
2 phases.
Perfect.
I think if
I
we
would like
could,
to see it.
if we could put up behind the sign, a good piece of what we want to do, I'm sorry, and let people see it, then it might be easier to get more in the future. But we do have enough money to do behind there.
You see these 2 samples, what
One-
color
one
you
minute.
like? Better? Darker one? Or more of
Which
a
one do you
khaki
like?
one?
I'll be right back. Excuse me.
Well, I
have
don't
to
think the
take-
price is different. It's the same price.
No.
It's not the same
No,
price, it's
it is the same price.
Okay.
Just the whole thought was whichever one we choose, we might want that for the whole strip.
Okay.
So it kind of has to come, part 1 and part 2.
Right.
So,
You'd have to have,
you have to make your decision now.
or have them, a few years apart and the other shade is a different shade.
Yeah,
and,
right.
So
Yeah.
it's better to get it.
Yeah, I think we should concentrate on behind the sign first and,
I mean,
But then we have
on
to
that
pick a
note, I
color.
know Sutton Park, they're revamping the front half of Sutton Park very
Right.
soon. That's going out to bid, and they're talking about fencing all along the, if you're looking at Sutton Park, all along the right side there,
Oh,
where
okay.
the homes would be.
Okay.
So it might, if you're doing phases, you have the sign phase, and then when Sutton Park, bookends it, and then you have the middle part.
They might like to see
Well,
our
it would-
choice then.
Yeah, and maybe they use your choice, who
Right.
knows?
well, what kind of fencing are they going to use?
They're
there?
just it's conceptual right now. They have.
Okay, okay. So
And
does
we
it,
need to help and get in the Charles Barnum idea of what they're doing there? Do we need to contact? Because I know one of the discussions for the pool could be at the,
Cutler, is that Cutler?
no,
Where are we talking about?
No.
Colchester?
Colchester, sorry, at the
Okay.
wrong school.
That's
Thank
all
you.
right.
No, but is that group, do we need to coordinate with them if they're all?
That's further out.
That's
Okay,
That's way
that's
further
way
out.
out, okay.
Sutton Park is like gonna happen this
Oh,
summer.
okay, good.
And that's revamping what's there, making it a little nicer, maybe having some public art.
That's good to know. That's good to know, yeah.
So back to whose property is whose and what can we do on it? Is that all set? That's all I worry about, because this has been in discussion since forever. We're talking about the sign and everything and doing plantings.
Mhm.
Can we do this on what land and is it all surveyed and?
Yeah, I mean, Greg and Bobby, our land surveyor on the town, have
Mhm.
looked at it and said there is land. But I think if you're gonna do a formal plan, you might have to,
Involve the neighbors
Yeah.
behind as well?
Can you hear us, Bruce?
not necessarily.
No,
No,
6
not
feet.
really.
6 feet is like okay. to
It is, but it'd be good neighbors,
Yeah, absolutely.
fences and good neighbors.
Nancy, maybe we can say it a little bit louder because I don't think Bruce can hear us.
Bruce, tune me in.
Thank you.
We were talking about the neighbors. Maybe you want to talk about that?
Oh, I was just mentioning that if we're gonna put up a fence, we have to be good neighbors with the people behind. Who are good neighbors to us, but.
You do?
Well, I think so. Otherwise, we'll have a lot of graffiti on the walls.
I know. We're gonna
I
have it
think it's gonna
anyway.
be- It's gonna be win-win though. We don't want to do it unless it's a win-win. They're gonna get less garbage flowing into their yards, less litter going into their yards,
Headlights and everything
Headlights.
else.
No, it's a
a
good
little bit.
idea. I think I like it.
noise abatement. So
Plus, it's not like a wood fence where you have a least favorite sign with the vinyl side,
Mhm.
both sides.
very nice looking. Good point.
Okay, so Leanne is not here, but she wanted a motion on the floor to have this fencing
Mhm.
around the
Continue.
sign implemented somehow.
Mhm.
So
Can you take a vote? Or you have to wait for her?
I think we should kind of wait for her, see if she has anything else she wants to add to it.
What was
Did we
the
get a
motion?
second? Did we get a second for the motion?
No.
No,
I'll
not
second it.
yet.
I'll second it.
Okay, so Leanne and the Bruce, okay. Okay, so we did the discussion before the motion, but I guess,
Well, we want to hear what the motion is specifically,
but yeah, she's
so we can come back to it.
right.
Yeah, come back to it.
Yeah. Okay, so an easy one is Earth Day at the library in town. It's scheduled for April 6th. No, Earth Day is not April 6th. Is it?
The end of the month, I believe,
I thought it was like the
26th.
22nd.
The date doesn't sound right.
April 22nd,
April 22nd.
11 to
Okay.
4.
11 to 4. And so Cindy suggested that we think about if we want to volunteer, and she will take names at the next meeting.
Well, she had names that were listed on the agenda for that she had.
Yeah, we have quite a few members.
Right.
here.
Yeah, but she wants to confirm, I guess, at
Okay.
the April 6th meeting to be sure that we have enough volunteer for that event.
And what are we going to do?
That's not sure.
Trash cleanup?
No, it's not a cleanup.
It's
It's
an
not,
expo at the library.
right.
Sustainability and
Right. So,
investing in our planet is what it's called. And they have like 35 vendors that are going to be there. It's a
Right.
kind of big event, so.
right, so I think we should have an idea of what we want to do, that's for sure.
Right.
And we can always have a list of what we accomplished so far and what our projects are, what the ARPA money that we got for, things like this, but I don't know if she has something else in mind.
Signing up volunteers is what we need.
Signing up volunteers, yes, that's certainly a part for that. That would be a good demand for that.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Yep. She also wanted to start a monthly cleanup. I don't think she wants to start it that day, but it's probably going to come up at the April 6th meeting as well. So, well, more on that topic later then. And the Grassotech is having their plant sale in May, as usual. The dates are May 6th to May 13th this year. That's
Do
for
they have
this.
enough plants to have it that long?
Yeah, well, they don't
They-
open all day long at, they have afternoon hours. they
Right, I
have-
remember, yeah.
Okay, so, Leon is back. Leon, do you want to, tell us what your motion, to give us the exact wording for your motion?
Let's see. I make a motion that we move forward with the fencing behind the sign, Welcome to Groton, on the intersection of Route 1 and 117.
And I seconded it.
And Bruce had seconded that.
Yeah.
Okay,
We gotta get
So-
something on the table so that we
Yeah.
move forward with it.
I think we need a little bit more than moving forward. We've been moving forward for like 3 years on this.
Right,
So let's
well,
be a
if
little
you
more
get it-
specific.
when you get a motion on the floor,
Yeah.
you have to keep that your primary thing and end it. You know, move forward, make it happen. We've got the money. We've
Mhm.
got some very attractive fencing. So now our next step should be having Public Works tell us if there's anything we have to do with planning and zoning.
mhm.
So that would be our next step, I think, would be appropriate.
Planning and zoning for the rest of the project,
Let's just stick with project one,
Yeah.
Okay.
I think-
phase one.
phase one. So call it phase one.
Phase one,
Phase one.
yes.
You might need to do an ASP, but I don't think you need a site plan review for this. I'll double check it tomorrow, but.
Okay.
Good to hear.
Who is that lady with the long hair?
Me?
We are glad to have her back for
Yeah.
the day.
We are.
Okay, so we did discuss that. Missy did a bunch of legwork on this. So I think by next month, at the next meeting, we should have more information on that and hopefully be able to have some kind of date for setting it up. Do you have any idea?
Contact Greg right away. He said
Yes.
he's ready to,
Is ready
yeah,
to,
I'm gonna give him all the quotes
okay,
and he'll be ready to.
okay.
You're gonna find out if there's a place that this company has installed the fence so that we can actually,
We can even
See it
go to his
outside.
place. We can even go to his place,
Mhm.
or he'll give us the names of people that,
where it's actually
yes.
installed.
yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
I can do that.
So at this point, we have a motion, so you can give us 3 names of the places you checked, I guess.
Is that
Because
right?
it's part, it's going to be part of the record.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So, Luther Fencing, which is a local Groton place, and that is the fence of choice. Atlas out of, Clinton, I believe it was. And MRF, no, MRF is out of Clinton, and Atlas is, some other part of,
Somewhere in Connecticut.
yeah.
So MRF, huh?
MRF, yeah.
I'm sorry, did she say Luther Fencing?
Mhm,
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
yes, that's the winning bid.
Right.
And it's also the best material, I've got to say,
Do
yeah.
we know a Sharon? Sorry to interrupt.
Okay, yes, yes.
Okay, I'm
Yeah.
sorry. I didn't see her. But I will
Okay.
promote her.
Okay, Sharon, 7:04 then. Sharon is joining us.
She's been sitting there for a while.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I hope it wasn't too long. I didn't notice.
Yeah,
I'll leave it on its 10 feet just in case.
okay. So we have those three contractors. We
Mhm.
have price range. Do you have any, we know that one is $3,000 installed or $2,000 just for material. And do you have any other quotes, or just
No.
for that portion?
For that portion, yes, they're all about the same.
They're all about the same.
They are, for
Okay,
that portion.
okay.
And did Greg say we'd install it? Probably, right?
He didn't say, but I think we have to clarify that.
Okay. Okay.
I know like with the signs, we paid for the sign itself, then Public Works installed it.
Okay.
I don't know if they're volunteering.
Right. If they install, do they charge Beautification Committee for the work or not?
I'm not gonna speak on his behalf.
I don't think
We'll
so.
just see what they say.
Yeah,
Because for ARPA money, that's what's going to happen, I think.
They charge or.
I think if there's somewhere, somebody, an entity in town doing some work, they're going to charge against the account. So I wonder if they're doing the same thing for this. Well, we'll have to find that out. Yeah. Okay, so I think we can table that till next month where we have more information and we can actually take a vote.
Okay,
Is that okay?
yeah, good idea.
Okay, so next one on is the logo. And I think Sharon is arriving just on time then. Rachel is not here, so she cannot participate in that discussion. But she did put on Facebook samples of logos, and the people voted actually on those. And I counted what I saw. So the logo number 1, which was the submarine with the bees and the flowers, it got 18 votes. And then we had logo number 4 and number 6. Both of them got 5 votes each. And then it was 1 here and there. That was out of 28 votes casted. So clearly number 1 got a lot of votes compared to the others. And I don't know, Sharon, can you hear us?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay,
Okay.
so I just want to say, when I created that logo, I mean, I was just fooling around, right? It was just like having fun. I think it needs to be, if you do go with that, I think it really needs to be cleaned up by somebody who is more professional than what I could do. I'm not a graphic designer, you know, so I don't know. There was a Maddie Bauman, who is a graphic designer, who said that she may be willing to take some of those graphics, not just mine, but the other ones, and make them more professional looking.
Mhm.
I would hope that would be done, I guess is what I'm saying.
Okay, I think we should, yeah, and there was another person who is a student who's suggested that she could help as well.
Right.
Mhm. So how do we proceed?
Do we actually have somebody that's a graphic designer that's offering to help us?
Yes.
Okay, I think that's probably the appropriate next step. To ask that person to do a little bit more with what we have for the logo.
But we're not going to ask this person to work on all the logos. Do we need to pick
No,
two,
I'm just-
1 or 2? And
I think one got the top votes,
Top
right?
vote,
The one that
yeah.
got the top
Yeah.
votes is the
Okay.
one that
Yeah.
Sharon will share
okay,
and gets worked on.
Yeah,
so we are okay with choosing number 1? and asking Maddie Bauman to work on it.
Yes.
Okay. Sharon, can you contact Maddie Bauman and see if she's willing to work on it?
Sure, I will try. I know she contacted Rachel. Did Rachel ever get back to her? Do we?
I have no idea.
Okay. I will ask Rachel if she ever connected up with her, because that was probably a couple weeks ago. So
Okay.
hopefully the offer still stands true. You know, she said she'd take a couple of them, I thought, and clean them up. So if there's a couple, you know, or if anybody else had any other ideas, she may be even willing to start from scratch. So, but that's up to you guys. So.
Well, I mean, we have been talking about this for quite a while now. It's the same thing as the fence. At one point, we need to make a decision.
Right.
And see if we can move on, and have something that we can use.
Yeah, I think we need to stick with the number one, cleaned up, based on the fact that we're talking about possibly T-shirts and stuff, which if we want those in time for the planning season, we need to get, this is a waterfall, so.
So who's gonna take it to this person? Well, Sharon, will you?
Yeah.
Take it?
Yeah, I will try. I just didn't want to overstep Rachel, you know, but I will hook up with Rachel and ask her if she'd get in touch with Maddie, and if not, if I can do that.
Okay.
Yep. That's great. Thank you, Sharon.
Sure.
Okay, so if we do that, then in April, we'll be able to have
Final.
the final product, basically, and be able to say yes or no and vote on it.
Yeah,
The other decision we need to make is, last time we were talking about T-shirts or vests. And I don't think we decided if we wanted to go with T-shirts or vests. They were both on the table. Just a sleeveless vest for to working outdoors,
Yeah.
because it has pockets, and you know, that could be
Good.
something where we can have a phone and still
Yeah.
still work.
I'm
You
sure
know,
the best.
I think you can get these, the orange ones, you know, that you use if you're working on a road or near a road or something like that, and you can get them personalized. So we might have safety as well as our logo and name.
Okay,
Just a thought.
Mhm. It's a great idea.
there
Well,
is
if we can get
someone.
'em- We can get them personalized. That's the way to go.
Yeah. Down at the place in Groton Shopping Plaza, the printing, you know, the fellas, where they do all the shirts and everything.
Right.
I've seen them hanging up in his store, and they had different organizations' names on them, but I'll be
Yeah.
happy to check with them
Good.
and see what the
Good
cost
idea.
is.
Didn't know you could do that. Great.
Yeah, I think so. I'll find out.
Okay.
What number are we talking about? Are we talking about 25, 50? I mean, because that's going to influence what price they can quote us.
Right. Well, let me get the prices, and then
Okay.
then we can figure out what we can afford.
Okay, fine.
And we don't need
Okay.
that many.
Yeah,
You know, it's not like we're gonna have dozens and dozens of them.
I'll get the prices, see if we can do what I'm thinking we could do. So
Okay.
they can't miss us when we're out there. I can't
Okay.
wait to see Missy in one of those.
Hey, I'm out there picking garbage all the time. I'm up there. I'd like one.
so that we have one vendor, possible vendor. Anyone who knows of any other place we could get?
This guy is right to the right of the post office.
Oh, yeah, I know exactly
Yeah.
where it is. Yeah.
That's local, and I don't know of any other
We'll see what he has.
local
Yeah.
See what
people,
he
so
can
Yeah.
I think we get less kickback with just saying we want to get the first batch and just go straight with them.
Okay.
You know, I'll explain to him what it's for and see if he can't do a little something for the fact it's a Groton project, and see what we can get for the best price.
Mm-hmm.
My life is a negotiator. I'll be happy to do what I can.
We can have our own logo and they can have a little logo for their thing on the front and give us a discount.
I'll see if I can get one done so that you could see it. How's that?
Okay. Okay, so that's something that we would be very close to have ready to go on the next meeting then. We have a lot of information, the logo ready, and we can place an order shortly after that if we have a vote. Okay. Perfect, perfect. Okay, next thing on the agenda. New business, spring plans from Pride's Corner.
Not Nips, Nips is not next?
No, not next.
Save that for last.
Yeah, say that for the last.
Absolutely.
So Cindy wanted us to choose the plants we'd like to have for the various locations. And she suggested to look at the site, Pride's Corner site. They have native plants. So if you go on their site, pridescorner.com, plants, perennials have American native plants or something like this. And they have a fairly long list to choose from. And that's where the town usually gets their plants. So I think we can have a discount. The question is, do we need to have an account with them to be able to order from them? Because I don't think we can order saying, oh, this is down the quarter. I think we would probably need our own account there. But that should be easy to do. Okay, so that was the list. If you come with a list on the next meeting, Cindy would be very happy.
Are we getting input from, I know there's a group that does the downtown Mystic ones. Is there a person that's ringleading that group, or are they just
No.
the bed tenders like I would be?
Yeah, I don't recall.
There was a landscaper that you were working with, right?
Yes, but I don't know if it's okay to do that every year. I mean, that was last year. I don't know for this year. What's his name?
Was it the legs? The fellow who runs the legs?
Right, yes, yeah,
And
yeah, but I don't know if he's willing to do that every year.
he came and just walked around with us, right? And
Mhm.
talked about what plants can come
Mhm.
out, what
Mhm.
he pulled some out and replanted, I think.
Yes,
didn't
he did somewhere.
So,
But that was his contribution. Now I don't know if
Oh.
he's going to do that every year or not. So we need Cindy for that because she
Right.
has this information in her head. And I don't. So I think, well, if we have a list of plans, I think we can start from there and she will fill us in with what else she has.
Drink your wine, Bruce.
So now we have pretty much gone through the list and we can tackle NIPS.
I was in touch with this group that are the conservation group. Conservation advocates. I think it's like Liz Raisbeck and Eugenia Villavra, and they're very active. And anyway, I know that they're into, and I think we are also get into planting trees, the whole tree thing. And so I thought it would be interesting, instead of them, doing their thing and we're doing our thing, it would be just interesting to get together at a meeting perhaps, so that we all know who's doing what, who can do what, and pool our resources. So just a thought. That's just a thought.
I think that I'm not sure, I'll be happy to check on it, but I think there's some sort of a survey going on now of trees in Groton.
Yes, there's a tree
Yes.
survey, right?
They got a lot of money to do that.
Yeah.
Yes.
To use it for the fence.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Right.
So these people, do you have,
I'm in touch with them,
Yeah,
and
okay.
so we can,
Maybe tell them about the tree survey.
they know about the tree survey, they know about
Okay.
everything.
Okay.
They're well informed.
Okay.
Maybe at the next meeting, I mean, just maybe at the beginning of a meeting.
Yeah, I think that'd be
Just
a good
invite-
idea.
They don't have to sit through the whole meeting, but just
Right.
kind of discuss what
What
they
they
do, what we do, and what we can do together, perhaps.
okay,
You good?
to invite, so, who do you want to invite at the next meeting? What's the name of the people?
I'll ask Liz Raisbeck and Eugenia Villagra, who are co-chairs for this,
And how do you spell Liz's last name?
RAISBEACK.
Okay.
And Eugenia, EUGENIA, Villagra, VILLAGRA.
The school teachers coming out.
I know, right? Spell those out.
Okay.
So I,
So we'll do that and give them a few minutes at the next meeting and.
well, yeah, exactly. So
Okay. And before NIPS, I forgot to mention on the ARPA money, I asked Kevin if he could give us some information on how we're going to be able to use the funds. And he said it's going to be a special account. For example, one would be for ARPA project number 65, which is the town hall landscaping. The other one would be for ARPA project number 41, which would be the mill. And then the 10,000 would go in one, 10,000 would go in the other. And as expenses come in, they would be reimbursed through that mechanism. But there is an agreement that needs to be written between the town and the Beautification Committee. And so he suggested that at the next meeting, he could come and tell us what we need, how we can start looking at this agreement and walk us through the process. So when you mentioned that these people coming at the meeting, that maybe if we can postpone them for a month and have Kevin at next meeting, because this is more timely in terms of
course.
and because we were kind of the first to ask, he said yes, he can come, but he's going to get very busy also with all the projects. So.
Mhm.
So he has to do this with every single ARPA project.
Right.
Wow, okay.
Does it
So-
seem a little?
So anyway, the other part is that who is going to be the lead person for the landscaping and who is going to be the lead person for the mural? So.
Well, it presents an interesting problem, and I don't know the answer to it, but Pete Woods is the guy that put this whole thing together. I don't know anything about landscaping. I just submitted the proposal. We did kind of look at it together as to what would go in and so forth. As I recall, some of it involved having to put in some irrigation so that the plants that are put in there don't die. That was part of it. And he, like I say, he put the whole thing together for the most part. So I don't know how we could, if we have to like get people to bid on it, it would be kind of odd considering it was his proposal to begin with. I don't know how that works out. Tabitha, do you know anything about that? Where we have to be on that? Can we just like can I just pick somebody, or we just pick somebody? Or do we have to go?
Well, you have 10,000 for the landscape?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't have the procurement regs in my head, but I think you need 3 quotes for under 10.
mhm.
but you wouldn't have to put it out through the, like, the formal bid process, like I was talking about with that bigger project. It
Oh,
would be
no.
like it would just be a get quotes and then award, I think. But Kevin
okay.
can definitely answer that
Right,
question.
that's why
Yeah.
you wanted to come and just walk
Yeah,
us through.
need that to be able to go forward at all, really. So that's a piece of information we need. Can we get it from Kevin before he shows up next month so that we can get going on it earlier?
I asked him the question and he said that because it's 10,000, if we break down the project in small portions, we may be able to get away with not having several bids.
Oh, really?
But he said he said he was not sure, was not 100% sure yet because he has not seen what the proposal is going to be. He has seen the application, but we didn't get the full amount. So
Right.
what is the new project going to look like? And can we separate material from labor and get away with some things like this? I don't know.
Well,
Let's
I'll
find out.
talk
Let's
to,
have them come and we'll find out.
I can talk to Pete Woods and find out what we can do, because I think we initially submitted that for like 17,000. And we ended up with 10.
Oh.
Let's see.
They reduced the-
Yeah, they reduced it, I think. No, wasn't it 14.5?
That may have been that. I forgot.
14,850.
Okay. Okay, I'll talk to Pete and see what we can break it up into to make it more manageable. And I'm pretty sure that it has to be broken up into putting some irrigation in and planting and actually following up on this so that it would be renewed, in other words, and always kept in good shape. So, okay, I'll do that and I'll get back to us by the next meeting.
Wonderful. So you'll be the contact, the lead person for that project.
Yeah, and anybody, when we get this kind of final, since I'm not a real plant person, you're more than welcome to put forth any comments that you have.
Well, my only comment would be the irrigation system will probably need, you need design drawing for that and probably need to spec that out separately.
Yeah.
Because it's just plants and irrigation, then you can buy the plants all in one and then maybe buy the
Exactly.
irrigation.
That's what he was saying, that if we split the project in two
Yeah.
different parts.
Yeah, and if it's under that 5,000, I think threshold. I don't
Right,
remember what that is.
then we can get away with not having to bid.
Right, okay, I'll see what I can do.
Right,
And I'll get back to everybody.
okay.
Mhm.
And on the mural for the ARPA project number 41.
Yeah, now, I submitted a big number for the murals and of course it didn't happen. But irrespective of the number, it's nowhere near enough to do what we really want to do in the long run. And we still have our legal problem. I was hoping Rachel might be here tonight because she said she was going to maybe see if she could intercede with our town attorney and get that agreement. The original agreement that I had submitted from the land here, which has been working fine for 20 years, approved as opposed to the one that he had. That's Cody's agreement, because it's just kind of onerous particularly for a small project that we have. It's just way beyond what is necessary and difficult to work with anybody that we're going to pay. You know, we're talking about small potatoes here. We're not talking about $50,000, $60,000 per mural, which I can understand, you know, might be that kind of an agreement might be a requisite. But, you know, the people up in Norwich finally decided not to work with the city at all, the city of Norwich, because they could just never get anything through. And it was always a problem for them one way or another. So they just decided to go completely private. And that may be something we want to do eventually, but not now. And we still have to get buildings, and it's a private situation that we're trying to put together with the town and coordinate that with somebody who can do the murals. So it's a completely different animal. than people like Norwich have done with these huge murals that are on the side of one building. That kind of thing that costs $50,000. We're not in that ball game at all. So we do need to, we have to finalize this legal agreement. That's number one, really. That's been hanging fire for a long time. And then as soon as we do that, then we can go out and get some people to put a mural on the side of a building. I've already gotten like 2 or 3 folks who are willing to do it. And then we can get some people to actually do the mural. So first things first, I think we've got to get that legal agreement put together. The agreement is there. I just would like to have them accept it. And I'm not sure what the best way is to go about that. Maybe it's time to just talk to John Burt and see if that can happen. I'm happy to do it, but I mean, maybe Tabitha would be a smarter person to pick than me, or any other thoughts or suggestions would be welcome.
Question, Bruce, the ask for number 41 was 75,000 and it was awarded 10,000.
I know.
So,
know. Well, I know what it costs to put these things together with first-class people, and that's what it costs. So we're kind of hamstrung by the amounts involved here and this legal agreement, and it's complicated by the fact that we're doing something on a private building using town funds in effect. So it's a little different. What we've got, we can get it done if we can just get this legal agreement problem out of the way.
I can talk to a few folks in-house and see what we can do to help that along.
Yeah, that would be great, Tabitha. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
okay.
Do we have a draft that I could circulate, or?
I have, and I gave it to, John has a copy of it actually, but I can get you another one if necessary, not a problem.
Yeah, if you can email me something, Bruce, that'd be great.
I will, I'll do that. Let me make a note of that.
Okay, so we'll pick that up on next meeting, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay, so back to NIPS.
Okay, I'll try to make this quick. We have $30,000 for NIPS, is that correct? That's what we have in our budget?
Just about, I think, I don't have the exact number, but it's about.
Okay, so the first thing I was asked to price out was the giant fish. This is the fish that is going to be about 10 feet long, 6 feet tall. It's made out of, it has a metal structure, and then it has metal netting, the whole plastic bottles and plastic in there. We're thinking this would go in Esker Point. And I talked to the metal artist, Clint Wright. He's the one who just did that great sculpture in, I don't know whether you've had a chance to see it. It's in Mystic.
Oh, yeah.
Right before the bridge. It's a
Yep.
huge, like 20-foot long sculpture, tall sculpture made out of forks and knives. So he's a very, very good metal worker. Very, it's now iconic. Everyone's talking about it as they go through Mystic now. So this fella is right here in Noe. And he works at Gate, I guess it's called, I don't know, it's a metal workshop. And he's agreed to do this. He's very excited about the project. He's already started talking to Public Works about how to anchor this into the ground, how it would open and be cleaned out. So it's going to collect plastic bottles and pieces of plastic. There's kind of like a irony to it because we're trying to teach people that fish, when they eat plastic, they die. And here we have this big fish sculpture that we're putting plastic in. So we're going to have a sign that says something like, this is Frankie, the fantasy fish. Real fish die when they eat plastic. So there's going to have to be an educational sign or component to it. So, but he really likes the idea and he's already working on getting the material, you know, and I told him he had about a $10,000 budget. And possibly if we could also get in something in addition to that, I have other ideas that he could work on. But once again, does he need a contract?
Oh, you would need a contract.
So we need to work on that right away.
But did you tell him that he has that 10,000 to work with, or did he give you any quote on what it would cost to do something like this?
No, he did not. He says he can work with the 10,000. And in addition to that, he could possibly work on the other thing I'll tell you about in a second.
Okay.
Okay?
Question, couple questions.
Escrow point.
Have we talked to Public Works about this at all?
Yes, I talked to Greg. He's very excited about it.
No, have we
Um,
talked to Public Works about it? I mean, where would they be? And are we talking about more than one?
No, it's just one sculpture-like thing that you would see from the road when you drive by Escrow Point. It would be quite dramatic. And
Where would it go? Where would it go?
Escrow Point,
Oh, right.
That's a good point.
Are we talking right by the beach house or whatever you call it?
yeah, probably to the left of it.
Yeah.
So it'd be a dramatic piece, and it'd meet the elements of NIPS requirements that we're teaching about recycling and plastic and
Okay.
animals.
I think for any expenditure of money that we need to take a vote for, the group needs to take a vote.
Are you
So,
ready to vote?
I think we need, no, this meeting is to get information,
Mhm.
and next meeting, we need to take a vote.
Okay. Okay.
So.
So that was the first thing I was asked
Can
to,
I ask a question?
sure.
Did you ask about, is there any possibility of plastic, microplastic getting out of there? Because I'm just
Meaning-
worried about plastic being introduced to the beach environment, if it's getting out of the metal mesh.
Yeah.
It's like, how
He-
big is the
We
mesh?
talked about that mesh. So he's thinking of making the mesh kind of like be on top of each other and make the as small as possible, yeah,
Yeah.
we did
Nice
talk
if
about
it could be
that.
something that other than a fish, like you said, we don't want to feed fish plastics. So be something like a pirate ship that's like ship it out. You don't want it, something that
Mhm.
is more like. We're not
That's a come
feeding
that
fish.
sign that says, it's a fantasy fish. Real fish die when they eat plastic.
Well, Rachel was
Mhm.
insisting because her thing with the initial NIP money, where she said she and Andre proposed to council, and this is what she
Yeah.
proposed. So I think we're already spoken for that was one of the first things we're going to use.
Right.
It can work with the right sign, it'll be, a nice object of art you'll see from the road. And then
'Cause I don't want
It
to
will
speak for
work.
Rachel, but I think we already got volunteered to
you do this.
Right.
do
Yeah.
this.
Okay.
So this is his rendering, or is it just
So Rachel gave me
that's what Rachel gave you? Okay.
Because it had been done
before
on-
somewhere.
on a
Okay.
beach someplace.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So that's in the works.
So this.
just need to
you
vote
need
on
to
it and
follow
get a
up,
contact.
You need to follow up with some kind of proposal from
Yeah.
him. So we know that
It's
if we
within
vote on
his-
something that is on his side, he's agreeing to that too,
Yeah.
the quote.
Okay, good, okay. I can do that.
Mhm.
And then when
I like the idea. I think it's a great concept.
Mhm.
What are the dimensions? Do we have anything like that on it? Missy?
No, he's still working that out. It's gonna be at least 10 feet, wide. It's gonna be at least 6 feet tall. It's gonna be big. It may even be bigger. I don't know if the tail is included in that.
Oh,
The
that's
tail
fine.
pretty
The
much,
bigger the better, actually, yeah.
yeah.
Okay. Okay, good.
Yeah, we had talked about where nips are found predominantly though, and there was an area in town, I think that it was really a problem.
Right, but I don't think
And
this
it's not-
addresses the.
Yeah,
It wasn't Esker Point.
this is plastic.
This is
Yeah,
more
the
or less
nips,
a learning-
the
plastic,
nips,
too.
This
right.
is more or less a learning and teaching, not necessarily where the nips are found.
There's a lot of nips right along Fort Hill Road. I mean, I picked up a ton there. So that's,
So
So you-
it'll probably be plastic bottles, like people bring
Yeah.
I think
plastic
so.
bottles to the
Right.
beach, they'll probably put
I think so.
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
seeds plastic.
So we'll have to have a sign in addition to that.
Right.
Then,
Yeah. You know,
So then-
we're never gonna fix this nip problem because it's
Mhm.
they use them surreptitiously. You know, they use them when they're driving along, going out on a date, or you want to get drunk, or whatever the circumstances are. They just throw them out their car windows.
Yeah,
But the bigger pieces of plastic, of course, the things that could go out into the ocean, that we could probably deal with. And if we have enough signage on it, so people recognize what it is immediately, that would go a long way towards proving our point.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay, in addition to that, I talked to, this is my idea, so you can tell me what you think of it, but the regular standard trash cans that Groton has. I talked to Clint also about making a metal kind of a, it's kind of a holder for the trash can. And then have nautical animals on the top of the trash can. Here's one where they're using clams. And here's one where they're using just a fish head coming out. And having one that, this one has an octopus, my favorite. And I was thinking that they can use beer bottle tops for the little octopus round things. So Clint and I were just talking about how to make this work and that intersperse them down on Fort Hill Road, have 3 of them at least interspersed in a nice place on Fort Hill Road, and where you can see them, you drive right by them, you can see the decorative artsy design. It'll go right into the ground, it'll get secured into the ground. It'll be easy to have the Public Works Department take the can out and empty it out. It'll just be a little design, once again, a little artsy element to collecting trash. And I propose that it be on Fort Hill Road. It's
Yeah.
gonna look so good. Fort Hill Road is gonna look so cool.
That's
Yeah.
very
After a while.
doable. It's very
Missy,
doable. I've
that's
done
a
a couple
great
of trash
idea.
cans like that myself, so
Yeah,
it looks
Missy,
really
that's
good and it's
that's a
colorful.
great idea. Philadelphia has done that. Did you see the article? I can send that to you. They've
No,
got
I'd love to see it.
Oh, they're adorable. They,
That's
certain
a
areas,
great,
I will send you the article. I was just reading about it the other day, actually.
great.
Yeah, wonderful.
Great.
Send that to us, yes.
And Clint was really excited about this project. He wants to pull in some of the students at one of the tech schools to help make these metal figures. And he was all excited about it, about getting students. So he's going to go and take this packet up and see whether he can get something going. And I don't have a price yet on what each can would cost. I figure we at least need 3 or 4 in town. I don't know, we can identify where the most garbage is and we can try to place them strategically. So I don't know if I'm glad you like the idea so far.
And the other students he's talking about are Guaso Tech students or?
I think so. There'd be students, iron workers or soldering or, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's good. Plus it'd be good to tie in with Sutton Park with the stuff they're doing there.
And even, if they renovate the school, the Chester School across the street, there's gonna be lots of traffic on that pedestrian walkway, on our sidewalk.
This will be something we can keep going we can keep adding to it. Because as soon as one part of town gets it, you're gonna get the Facebook comments, where's mine?
Here's mine.
Where's mine?
Yeah, yeah.
People might start drinking more nips, so we get more of them.
Adopt a pen.
great idea, great idea.
Okay.
Yep,
And then, one more, use of our NIPS money is possibly a signage that says no littering, but kind of cute signage, not the punitive one that says, you get a $500 fine. I've got all kinds of ideas all around the country that have some nice, clever signage, some that appeal to adolescents. This says, why are you littering? First box, check it off. I'm a jerk. Number 2, I don't care about natural areas. Number 3, mommy still cleans up after me. And bottom one is all the above. I mean, these are the kind of signs that you could, and they're very inexpensive. They're like $40. And then we put them up maybe once again on Fort Hill Road or places where we have identified where there's a lot of garbage. So it's another use of our NIPS money.
Can you send that to everyone?
Mhm.
You have the file, I suppose, to.
I can send it. You can send it.
Yeah, I've been clamoring for those for a long time. That's what we need. Absolutely.
On words.
Clamoring.
Okay, it looks like we, a little bit of 7:44 already. Anything else that we absolutely need to talk about? No? Can we have a motion?
I make a motion to retire. Missy, nice job.
Good.
Bruce,
Okay.
good to see you.
I'll drink to that.
All right.
So you seconded, Bruce, you second that, okay.
I do.
All right.
Good
Okay,
night,
meeting
guys.
is
Bye-bye.
adjourned.
All right. Good meeting.
45.
Good ideas. Good to hear.